Good evening, folks. Now, this is going to be a bit of a long shot because of the age group this video is aimed at, because most of the people that watch YouTube, in my opinion, are the youngsters, the millenniums. I may struggle to say that word. I may have said that word wrong, but I do apologize. But the old school clubbers, such as myself, my age group, 55, watching YouTube, hit and miss, maybe, maybe not. But I'm going to give it a shot. If you don't ask, you don't get. So what I'm going to do, I'm having a fun time, just making a fun video about reminiscing here in the UK. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mention some places. I'm going to give you the time periods. And if you were partying in those places back in the day, just state what you were doing at the time and tell us anything. It doesn't matter. You could be as intimate as you like. You could be as silly as you like. It's all about having fun, reminiscing. Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna start off in London, where I was born and raised, between the time period of 1978 to 1983 to begin with. Okay, so that's the first time slot I'm going with. So if you're partying in Crackers, if you're partying in 100 Clubs, if you were partying in Cheeky Pete's Richmond, if you were partying in, of course, Royalty in Southgate, North London, if you were partying in my side of town, West London, Americas, if you were partying, and now I've got to slow down here now, because this next club now was a bit of a landmark in my sort of youth, and it was a place where I first saw some crazy dance moves. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the b-boy scenes with the popping and the breaking, and not to mention the jazz dancers who would do the fast spins. I am talking about the one and only Electric Ballroom. Okay, now let's carry on. Electric Ballroom, Camden Town. Spats, Oxford Street. Flicks in Dartford. Now we're going to just change the style a bit. Now we're going to move to, for those who are skating, those who skate backwards and who was doing the spread eagle and stuff like that. Where am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Starlight in Hammersmith. And I can't forget the place that had the biggest dance floor for skating, and most of all, speed skating, for speed skating backwards. Well, I'm talking about Harrow Leisure Centre in Harrow and Weald. Okay, so now we're going to move further afield, and we're going to go out of London, slightly, just a little bit out of London, and we're going to go to Pink Elephants in Luton. Now we're in the 1984 ballpark. Now, before I go a bit further, I'm going to talk about something that happened that started off the rave scene. Now, a lot of people don't know what I'm about to tell you, because this has never really been televised and it's a little bit political, but it did happen. During, say, the early 80s to the mid 80s, unfortunately, a lot of black people were stopped from getting into nightclubs for various reasons. Sometimes it was obviously just good old-fashioned racism. Another time it was due to business. When I say business, because most black people, especially black men, when it comes to soul, funky clubs, we like to dance. We're not one for getting drunk. So for some clubs, a lot of black men in particular were bad for the bar, not making much money at the bar. Okay, so unfortunately there was not a lot of clubs that didn't like letting in black people. That's how it was. So what happened, that gave birth to the warehouse parties, and the warehouse parties gave birth to the rave scene. Okay, so if you were partying in the warehouse parties and you were moving to sounds such as Rap Attack, Shaken Finger Pop, Good Times, the famous Norman J from Good Times. And I cannot forget the pioneers who brought the soul scene to Notting Hill Carnival. Of course, I have to give a shout out to Mastermind. If you're part to Mastermind, and then of course I've got to give a shout out to the local soul sound that was played in that was obviously partying in my side of London, Ealing, West London, which is Magnum Force. Okay, so now we're going to move to 1984 to around 1988. So we're going to go to the Midlands now. So if you were in Birmingham, so I keep looking at, I'm looking at my list, so excuse me for looking down at my list. I don't, because I'm paranoid of missing places out. So if you're partying in Powerhouse, Birmingham, Nottingham, Rock City. Now we're going to come back down to London, locally to my side of London, West London, if you were partying or at Broadway Boulevard, Feathers. And we're gonna go out of London again. We're gonna head south. I believe we're gonna head to the south coast. And if you were going to the Zoo Bar in Bournemouth and the venue in Bournemouth, now we're around the sort of 1992, 93 mark. Now we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna head up to the Midlands and we're gonna party again in the Midlands. Now I need to slow down here because this is hallowed ground for me. I had so many good times in these places that I'm going to mention. Wow. Okay, let me just take a little minute to compose myself. Okay, Derby, Pink Coconuts. And prior to going to Pink Coconuts, we used to go to Sadler's, I think Sadler's Gate, I think it was Sadler's Gate. If you're partying in those places, let us know. And of course, I cannot forget Stoke-on-Trent. The city of Stoke-on-Trent had two places that we used to party. One place was more fun, silly place, which was Valentino's. I used to, Saturday night was 70s fancy dress, and I used to go up covered with my afro wig and my flares and stuff, and I had a boss time in Valentino's. And then if you was more on the sort of serious side, of course you had to go to the place. The place had 2 rooms, and yeah, I nearly fell in love there. It's a long story, but anyway, so we got the place in Stoke-on-Trent and Valentino's in Stoke-on-Trent. Oh wow. All right, so where am I going? Where am I now? Valentino's. Right, so we come back down to London, and we're sort of where the midnight is now. Of course, cookies and creams. Cookies and creams. We talk about DJs like Paul Trouble Anderson, rest in peace. Rest in peace. And of course, Twice as Nice. And I'm going to finish off in Islington, North London, the Complex. Oh, hold on, there is another place. Just remembered. Ladbroke Grove, but I can't freaking remember the name of it. But anyway, so I think that's enough. So we've gone from 1978 up to the year 2000. I just can't remember the name of the place in Ladbroke Grove, underneath a flyover. If you can remember, just let us know. Okay, folks? So there we are. So if you were in those places, let us know. Okay, it's all about reminiscing and having fun. And of course, if you go to the case to Soul Weekenders and any other Soul Weekenders, again, let us know. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.